Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today, how to stop procrastinating tips, or not, because I am not going to give you any stop procrastinating tips at all. But I am going to explain why not. It's really simple, really. I did a survey yesterday on social media, and what people shared in the comments were, in terms of overcoming procrastination, were lots of things that they had found worked for them. There were all sorts of things. There was a few people who talked about chunking down tasks into, taking a big task and chunking it down into small tasks. Some people kind of came from the, well, just do it philosophy. I've made myself do things and now they've become habit. And so I'm okay and I do them all the time now. There was other things that people do, affirmations and those kind of things. Some people had therapy to try and help them with procrastination. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And fundamentally, the starting place for me here is that is not the job of a coach. If you're working with somebody who is professing to be a coach, who is telling you what to do, that's not really how I see coaching. It may well be how other people see coaching, but I don't see coaching that way. I see coaching, the role of the coach is to help you uncover your answers. And the way I do that is a little bit different to perhaps how other people do it, in that I use questions and I coax things out of people, but always from the premise that I am guiding people to understand how they work, to understand the simple psycho-spiritual understanding that I share, so that they understand better what's going on inside, not the kind of gnarly details of I don't know what the word gnarly is that I've just made up anyway, not the gnarly details of trauma in early life and all that kind of thing, not that why, but understanding what thought is, what feelings are, how the human experience is created. That's true for all humans all the time, whether we're dealing with procrastination or anything else. And from that space, once people understand some fundamental things, like your feelings aren't telling you about your ability to do things, that's a really helpful one when we're thinking about procrastination. Once people understand those things, procrastination just naturally falls away, really. But as well as that, people may on that journey find something that works for them. So I would say I'm a person who forms habits quite easily, and so I'm very present in the moment, but I do like getting into a groove with doing some similar things in my business each day. But that's not right for everyone, and it's not right for me every day either. Some days I throw caution to the wind and don't do the same habits in the same order, and nobody dies, you'll be pleased to hear. So really watch out for that. If you are being encouraged to do certain things in order to manage your time and that kind of thing, or not procrastinate by somebody who is professing to be coaching you, because it's about revealing what's right for you is coaching, not being told what to do. So that's the first thing. So this is just Claire's version of truth here, as something that I see happens and that I experienced happening to myself when we are seeking how to stop procrastination tips, or how to stop any other kind of thing tips, or how to start things tips. If we're looking at tips and tricks, this is what I see happening with that. So the first thing is, well, this is the process I think that somebody goes through before they start sharing with you their tip or trick. So somebody becomes aware that there's something that they're not happy with about themselves, some behavior, something that they're not happy with, and that person then seeks a solution to that. They probably go down many rabbit holes and come out the other side and go, "Well, that wasn't the thing then." They probably read lots of books. They explore, or they just about to say they just play with themselves, and I'm going to say it because it's made me laugh. And why shouldn't you share in the fun? They kind of explore themselves. They get to know themselves, and they kind of start to work out what works for them. Now, what often happens then with people who care about people, and that's what I'm saying about people who share tips about things, they love people and they want people to see what they've seen. Like I want people to see what I've seen. Of course I do. But what I'm sharing isn't something for you to do, it's something for you to understand, and that's different. It's like understanding gravity is helpful just in terms of navigating through life. But what people have is they then have this methodology, this theory of how to overcome procrastination, for example, and they share that with passion. I think I mentioned yesterday I went looking for things about procrastination on Pinterest, and oh my goodness, what a lot of stuff there is on there about procrastination. And the big thing that grated on me a little bit was using the word laziness alongside procrastination, which I don't believe is the case. I don't really believe anybody's actually lazy. But there's loads of tips and tricks on there. There's all this stuff. And people share that. People get the thing that works for them, and they're like, "Oh, everybody needs to know this is how to tackle procrastination. I can help lots of people." It comes from a really good place. It comes from the heart, does that kind of thing. So then along comes little old me or little old you. You might be old. I'm not old really. But anyway, along we come with our procrastination issue, and we start to learn from these people who've shared something from a passionate place, a loving place. And we try lots of things. So I've tried all sorts of things to overcome procrastination in the past. And um, we might find that some of those things work for a bit and then they don't work, or they work, but they only work if we keep doing them. And that to me is something I probably need to write more about and share more about and speak more about, is that if you have to keep doing it, it hasn't really resolved the underlying issue, has it? If you have to keep doing that tool or technique, your underlying issue has not been resolved. And that's really cool to see. So that's the other thing. So we try some things work, but we have to keep doing them. Some things work and then they stop working. Some things never work at all in the first place. And so we go on seeking, which is what I did. I was earlier or yesterday actually looking at my phone at all the different books I had downloaded about to help me overcome procrastination, all the books about habits and the 5-second rule. In fact, I'm probably going to share those at some point. I'll get a list of them and I'll share them with you, and because they're all great books if you're just interested in the topic, but all need to be taken with a pinch of salt as your solution. So I think what happens is we try all these different things that we get from books and podcasts and whatever else, and the trouble is that we then, when they don't work, I think that embeds more deeply the belief that we have about ourselves that we are a procrastinator, in inverted commas, or whatever else. And procrastination is the topic of the moment, but of course, there are lots of different, different things that we might see as labels for ourselves and believe are true about us. And I think when we try and fail and try and fail and try and fail again and again, we start to see that, well, we're really broken because Everybody, other people have tried these tools and techniques and it seems to have worked for them. But again, I would point to worked for them in inverted commas. And has it worked for them if they have to keep doing it? If it's not, like, I don't do anything now to manage myself, because from this place of understanding how life works, I don't need to, because there's a self-management system in there already. It's not for me to well, not for me, the self that is sat here chatting to you. It's not for me to interfere with that. I see now, but I didn't for a long time. I don't want you to spend a long time faffing around, chasing your own tail, going down rabbit holes when it's not necessary. It really isn't. So that's what I see as being the issue with following other people's way of doing anything, really, but particularly in terms of trying to overcome procrastination, because I spent years trying to overcome procrastination, an awful long time. And it was pretty exhausting and it made me feel really bad about myself. My inner voice, my inner critic was loud and shouty during that period. Well, for God's sake, if you can't even overcome procrastination when you've got all this knowledge at your fingertips now, what the heck's wrong with you? It definitely felt a lot like that. So that's it for today, really. Hopefully that's piqued your interest, and if you would like to explore further, if you want to just see a little bit more about this, then my 5 Simple Truths to Take You Close to Calm is a really good place to start your journey. And the link to that will be around here somewhere, but it is a bit.ly link, which is bit.ly/5 Simple Truths. So you can find it there. It's on the outro video as well. So, yeah. Explore this is my recommendation. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.